Hello, you're here on Thursday's edition of QPVN English News Bulletin. You're with Melinchi and here comes the headlines. President Tolam receives outgoing Chinese ambassador. Eminent reform and the zero transformation key for development. Vietnam ensures overseas laborers legitimate rights. On July the 17th, President Tolam hosted a reception from outgoing Chinese ambassador to Vietnam, Singapore. President Lam praised the diplomat's significant contribution to the Vietnam-China relationship, making it more intensive, comprehensive, and practical. For his part, the outgoing Chinese ambassador congratulated the Vietnamese party, state, and people on the achievements they have recorded over the past time. He affirmed that the party, government, and people of China steadfastly support Vietnam's efforts in maintaining stability and prosperous development, and fully believed that Vietnam will successfully complete its development visions and goals as defined by the 13th National Party Congress. On this occasion, the two sides exchanged views on the relations between the two parties and countries, as well as major measures to continue effectively implementing high-level common perceptions reached by the two party chiefs. On the afternoon of July the 17th, at the Presidential Palace, President Tolam received Ambassador of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland to Vietnam, Ian Reup. At the reception, President Tolam expressed satisfaction with the increasingly effective and extensive development of Vietnam-UK relations after more than half a century of establishing diplomatic relations and nearly 15 years of strategic partnership with Vietnam. The two countries maintain regular delegation exchange at levels and make effective use of cooperative mechanisms in various fields, including politics, diplomacy, trade, investment, security, defense, education, training, closely coordinate and support each other at multilateral forums and organizations. To strengthen the collaboration efficiency between Vietnam and the UK in the coming term, President Tolam urged the two countries to boost delegation exchanges and high-level contacts, as well as coordinate to build and implement the Vietnam-UK Action Plan during 2024-2026, while continuing to cooperate closely in the field of defense security, people-to-people exchanges, and education training. Regarding economic cooperation, an important pillar of the Vietnam-UK strategic partnership, President Tolam highly appreciated the UK as Vietnam's leading trade partner in Europe. He suggested the UK expand collaboration in fields where the UK has strength and Vietnam has development priorities such as renewable energy, green growth, digital transformation, finance, banking, and health. For his part, Ambassador Ian affirmed that the new British government will continue focusing on the Indo-Pacific region and prioritizing promoting the strategic partnership with Vietnam, evaluating Vietnam as a dynamic, reputable, and responsible development partner in the region. He affirmed that the UK will continue to support Vietnam in sustainable development, while expressing his hope that the two countries will continue to promote cooperation in economics, education, training, respond to climate change, as well as in immigration issues, immigration management, and illegal migration prevention and control. On the morning of July the 17th, Chairman of the National Assembly Chen Thanh-man had a working visit at Military Region 3 Command. Senior Lieutenant General Vũ Hải San, Deputy Defense Minister, joined the working delegation. According to the report of the Military Region 3, in the first 6 months of 2024, the political security situation, social order and safety in the area was really maintained with no rising incidents. Praising the results that the armed forces of Military Region 3 have achieved, the chairman of the National Assembly requested the leadership of Military Region 3 to continue thoroughly implementing the resolutions, conclusions, and the directives of the Party Central Committee and the Central Military Commission and state laws. Officers and soldiers need to fully grasp the viewpoints and guidelines of the party and state on military and national defense work, especially the importance of building the people's heart disposition and building an all-people national defense posture. The unit is asked to improve the effectiveness of defense relations affairs, building broad areas of peace, friendship, stability, and development. During the working visit, National Assembly Chairman Chen Thanh-man and the delegation offered incense and flowers at President Ho Chi Minh's monument and planted a commemorative tree on the campus of Military Region 3 Command. investing in administrative reform and digital transformation in investing in development. Party committees and leaders of agencies and units must be determined to carry out this task in the spirit of 7 days. It's emphasized by General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense, at the teleconference reviewing administrative reform and digital transformation in the first 6 months of 2024, organized by the Ministry of National Defense on July the 17th. The event also saw the attendance of Senior Lieutenant General Lee Huy-Vinh, Deputy Defense Minister, permanent deputy head of the steering committee. At the first 6 months of 2024, the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense drastically directed and promoted the implementation of administrative reform and digital transformation throughout the military, achieving positive results in many contents. Specifically, institutional reform has helped remove legal obstacles for military and defense activities. The organizational reform has focused on building a compact and elite force with efficient operations. In particular, according to the government's assessment, the Ministry of National Defense ranked the second out of the 20 militaries and sectors in the index evaluating the quality of serving people and businesses in administrative procedures and public services in the electronic environment. The Ministry of National Defense also ranked the first out of 21 militaries and sectors in the quality index of the information system handling administrative procedures. However, the biggest bottleneck for the process of administrative reform and digital transformation in the Ministry of National Defense is still awareness. Awareness is still the most fundamental issue. Most importantly, heads of units must drastically implement this issue. We must apply the spirit of 7 days called the Party General Secretary, including dare to think, dare to do, dare to take responsibility, dare to innovate, dare to face difficulties and challenges. In digital transformation, the installation and use of the document management and administration software has brought many positive results. Currently, 72% of agencies and units at Level 1 use digital signatures, while nearly 83% of Level 2 units send, receive, and process electronic documents with digital signatures. General Zhang emphasized that administrative reform and digital transformation are occurring quickly with very high requirements in quality. It's an inevitable trend that we cannot delay. He urged party committees and heads of agencies and units throughout the military to drastically direct the implementation of the work while carrying out it well and thoroughly. On the afternoon of July the 17th, paying a tribute visit to the family of head of the Central Commission for Popularization and Education, Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa, Lieutenant General Lê Quang Minh, Deputy Director of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army, and the Interact brought the host on the military defense task performance, party and political work, policy, and gratitude activities in the military. Expressing delight at the informed results, Comrade Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa hoped that the General Political Department continues to well perform the strategic advisory role to the Politburo, the Secretariat, the Central Military Commission, and the Ministry of National Defense to lead the building of a politically strong military, contributing to maintaining and strengthening the party's absolute and direct leadership in all aspects of military. Comrade Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa used to hold the position of Deputy Director of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army. Coming up next, Vietnam ensures overseas laborers' legitimate rights. Ho Chi Minh City was to entice tourists to use night flights. Sending laborers abroad under contracts, also known as labor export, is no longer strange to the majority of Vietnamese people at working age, especially young people. Moreover, this phrase brings hopes and dreams for a better life of millions of Vietnamese laborers. In recent times, thanks to the star policy of the party and the government, along with the involvement of authorities, many laborers have been provided with opportunities to open another brighter doors to their lives, which helps improve the living condition for themselves and their family members, and contributes to the country's socio-economic development. On the basis of the results of the 10-year implementation of Directive 16 on December the 12th, 2022, the Secretariat issued Directive number 20 on strengthening the party's leadership over the work of sending Vietnamese laborers abroad in the new situation. In addition, the Ministry of Labor, Invalids and Social Affairs issued a circular on economic and technical norms on foreign language training for laborers working abroad under contracts. Vietnamese laborers working abroad under contracts contribute to the socio-economic development, and jobs created for them help raise their income, especially those in difficult areas. This policy also facilitates laborers who seek to improve their professional and foreign language skills and working style, helping build high-quality human resources after return home. On November 13, 2020, the 14th National Assembly passed the mandate law on Vietnamese laborers working abroad under contracts, which creates a legal corridor to protect Vietnamese laborers abroad. It details laborers' rights are protected from many different angles and in different cases. The Vietnamese government has made efforts to eliminate the process of sending Vietnamese laborers abroad. Recently, Directive number 20 of the party also clearly states that in addition to sending laborers abroad, which helps meet employment demand, increase income, and reduce poverty, it is also needed to incorporate this work into the strategy of developing human resources to serve socio-economic development in Vietnam. In just the first 5 months of 2024, there will be more than 65,000 Vietnamese laborers working abroad, reaching about 52% of the yearly target. In addition to improving their skills and labor discipline, returning home, those laborers are given the opportunity to access better job opportunities. The laborers working in the Republic of Korea have opportunities to absorb modern science and technologies and advanced techniques and skills. Even for seasonal or agricultural laborers, they have acquired technology to develop agriculture farming techniques. Thanks to this star policy, Vietnam has mobilized a large source of remittances, positively contributing to country economic development. According to the World Development Report by the World Bank and the Global Knowledge Partnership on Migration and Development, remittances to Vietnam have regularly reached over $10 billion per year since 2010. In particular, in 2023, Vietnam attracted about $15 billion, putting the country on the 3 top countries receiving remittances in the Asia-Pacific region and 10 top countries in the world receiving remittances. Receiving such a large amount of remittances, Vietnam can maintain the stability of the international balance of payments, then stabilize prices, especially exchange rates, making room for the government in general and the State Bank in particular to implement flexible monetary and fiscal policies in order to quickly reduce and restrain price fluctuations in the international as well as in the Vietnamese market during the past 2 years after the COVID-19. In addition to improving the lives of laborers, helping them enhance their qualifications, skills, and knowledge of host countries' cultures, the policy of sending Vietnamese laborers abroad under contract also helps create abundant, high-quality labor resources to meet the need of socio-economic development in the coming time. According to the Ministry of Planning and Investment, Vietnam attracted nearly $15.2 billion in foreign direct investment, or FDI for short, in the first 6 months of this year. Some $10.84 billion in FDI was disbursed over the 6-month span, rising 8.2% against the same time last year. FDI capital growth numbers demonstrate that foreign investors meet their commitments in the Vietnamese market, as well as the economy's ability to absorb and distribute investment money, hence fostering economic growth this year and in the coming years. FDI capital focuses on provinces and cities that have many advantages in attracting foreign investment thanks to good infrastructure, stable human resources, efforts to reform administrative procedures, and dynamism in investment promotion, including Bắc Ninh, Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu, Quảng Ninh, Hà Nội, Hải Phòng, Ho Chi Minh City, and Đồng Nai. FDI capital flows to Vietnam continue to come from Asia, including Singapore, Japan, Hong Kong with China, Republic of Korea, and China. Ho Chi Minh City Department of Tourism has collaborated with the local tourism association and the national flag carrier Vietnam Airlines in rolling out a program aiming to entice tourists to unite flights and accommodation establishment in the southern metropolis. According to the Municipal Department of Tourism, to meet people's travel demand during the 2024 peak summer season, airlines have increased night flights to help cool down airfares, but they were not attractive enough, leading to the cancellation of some flights. Accordingly, Vietnam Airlines has encouraged accommodation establishments to participate in building product packages that can buy air tickets on some routes with reasonable prices and flights departing between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. the next day, and free hotel rooms for first night or an 80% discount device packages including round-trip air tickets and 2 or 3 nights staying at hotels in the city. It is the end of the latest news bulletin today. You can watch our news again at QPVN.vn. For now, goodbye and see you next time.